If there's imminent danger of harm to the child, well, little Jimmy opening up his Christmas presents at your fireplace is not exactly an emergency situation. It will not qualify, and think of the hundreds of cases like that that a judge would have to go through to call it an emergency. Nothing would get done in the court.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Mark Real Jr., the Father's Rights Attorney, and you are watching another episode of the Father's Rights Playbook. On today's episode, we have Real Father's Rights Managing Attorney David Taub, and we are going to be talking about a topic that too many men wait too long to deal with, and that is your holiday schedule. So, David, we are sitting here, and we'll say middle of October. It's probably closer to the end of October before this episode gets released. And every December, usually end of November, usually Thanksgiving time, we get a rash of phone calls from dads who either mom's not following the custody schedule or there is no holiday custody schedule in place. So we'll start out with this. It's October right now. We're still a month away from Thanksgiving. We're 2 months away from Christmas. Why is it important to deal with this stuff now?
Well, my first response to that is I wish the parent with that question going through their mind thought about it in September or even August. But if it's October, it's time to get moving now to get some holiday visitation in place. It's mainly because time's just against you at this point. You need to file your paperwork. The court needs to give you a date to come in. You're going to get a mediation date to come in as well beforehand. And Inland Empire courts, you can have a month and a half wait before you see a judge.
Yeah, definitely. So at this point, we'd have to file a motion or an order for shortening time to get you in because court dates are getting set out into January already in most courtrooms, which won't be helpful for this year's holiday schedule. But another big issue is when it comes to modifying custody, they have to send you to mediation first. So not only are they going to have to find a time before Thanksgiving or before Christmas to slide you into the docket, they're also going to have to find time for you and all these other parents who are going through the same thing to go to mediation.
Right. And, there's an old saying, you see it on coffee cups sometimes, that just because you procrastinated does not create an emergency that the court has to deal with. Maybe that's a little specific to go on a coffee cup, but you get the idea here. Pretty much the order shortening time is important to raise in your motion. If you have current orders and the other parent is now delaying confirmation of exchanges of the child or has told you, I'm taking the child elsewhere, you're not going to get your visitation. In those circumstances, you can get jurisdiction to come early, quicker in front of the judge and to state your case before the holidays actually commence.
Yeah. I think one of the things that gets asked, the follow-up question to that is, why not just wait a little bit longer, try to work it out, and file for an ex parte request?
Well, simple. A judge will consider what's called ex parte jurisdiction, which means you will get in within two business days of your filing. If there's imminent danger of harm to the child, well, little Jimmy opening up his Christmas presents at your fireplace is not exactly an emergency situation. It will not qualify, and think of the hundreds of cases like that a judge would have to go through to call it an emergency. Nothing would get done in the court.
Yeah, I would imagine the month of December, really from Thanksgiving through Christmas, there's probably a rash of ex parte filings, which, number one, don't rise to the level of being an emergency where there's irreparable harm to the child or either parent. And then number two is the court just simply can't handle that type of volume. If you aren't protecting your rights, if you aren't being proactive, why are you now going to ask the judge to speed their timeline up?
Right. It's a very simple case where the judge would go if they brought you in. They'd go, well, why didn't you think about this earlier? Which I think I brought up earlier in this conversation. The clock is ticking, Mark. This is the time.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, it's October. It's the first half of November this year in 2025. You need to get moving on this immediately because there's a lot stronger chance of getting an order for shortening time, which may reduce it down to 4 to 6 weeks before you get into court, than getting that emergency ex parte hearing. If this is not 2025 and we're in future years and you're listening to to this in June, July, August. Now is your time to file, and you don't have to worry about any of these things. You don't have to worry about a judge granting an ex parte or granting an order for shortening time. But I've had on multiple occasions where we filed requests around visitation and or custodial time around the holidays, and it gets set like February 2nd.
Yeah, that is a risk you run. But it depends on the department. Some of them are busier than others. But man, if it's mid-October, late October, you better get in there now. Yeah. Don't wait till November. And I wanted to mention that sometimes the actual filing and serving of such an action can wake up the other parent, where they go, "Oh, they're serious. We're going to court over this. I better play ball." It can happen. Sometimes filing in court is a great prophylactic for the other parent to go, "I'm going to cooperate. I'm not going to go back east with Johnny. He can open presents up at your fireplace."
Yeah, and I think mediation as well in this is, in my experience, mediation when we're just talking about holiday time is usually a lot more successful. And a lot of times, even if you file a request and it's on a standard timeline, you'll have mediation in 4 to 6 weeks. And for whatever reason, obviously it's not overarching. We're talking about short periods of time. But mediation tends to be a little bit more successful when it comes to holiday time rather than we're going to spend the next hour and fix all of your custody problems.
Right. And also to bring up one additional thing, sometimes there's situations where you file in mid-late October and you're too late. It's already the end of December or it's February, but the judge, cognizant of the fact that the other parent might have gotten everything they wanted for holiday time without court orders or without the permission of the court, it may still work in your favor because the court may say, well, the other side got their time, so this Christmas, this Thanksgiving, the filing party is going to get all the time that year. So it's sort of a consolation prize sometimes, but the result can be we're going to give you that visitation time next year because the other party did rob you of your time that was provided by a prior court order.
Yeah, showing that one side was unreasonable and the other side was trying to work together. I mean, if you do find yourself in the situation where you file today and you get a January or February or even later court date, you probably still want to go through with that because guess what? You're going to have the same problem 12 months from now. Absolutely. So it's not the end of the world, and I have also seen that where it's like, oh, okay, mom went to New York with the kids this Christmas. That means those 2 weeks of Christmas holiday are dad's time and dad's time alone next year. Have 100% seen that.
Absolutely. And just a little extra advice out there. If you don't have your kid during the holidays, don't drink a lot and call the other parent when they have the kid.
Yeah, very, very true. All right, well, David, thank you so much to all the men, fathers, the parents out there. I hope you found this valuable. I hope you found this educational, maybe a little bit entertaining. And the moral of the story is we're sitting in October right now. If you find yourself where you either need a custody order, where you don't have one, or the other parent's saying they're not going to follow it, the time is now. You need to get moving on this today, not tomorrow, not next week. You need to get moving on it today. If you're listening to this in future years and maybe it's July, August, September, get moving on it now. Don't worry about the order shortening time or ex parte stuff because it just complicates things. So for everyone, for our watchers, listeners, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys again next week with another episode of the Father's Rights Playbook.